Beautiful people, welcome back again to another video. If this is your first time you come across this channel, this is Queen Sharon Entertainment, a home of freedom fighters. Please, if you haven't joined our family yet, join the family by hitting that red button down below on the bell notification icon, so whenever we have a new video in this same channel, you will get notified. Thank you so much for chilling in. I love you all. So my people, I have a video that I will be dropping in a minute for us to watch. Feel free to let me know what you think about this video after watching it, and don't forget to share this video and like this video as well. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.
Now let me speak for myself, and my views are very clear, are very simple, and really don't need too much enunciation because over the years I've made them very clear. But I will say this. In my view, we've got to a point in this country where we need to stop just talking and we need to start doing. What we are facing today, or rather what we are faced with, is nothing less than war knocking at our gate. Every single ethnic nationality in this country, without exception, is tooling up. When I say tooling up, that's what the British say. But here we say they are arming themselves, preparing for what may lie ahead, which nobody wants. And it is for us to try our very best to avoid going over that cliff edge. We've come here to talk about ethnic nationalities, restructuring, 2023, and so on and so forth. These are great concepts and important ideas. But the overwhelming majority of the people in this country, particularly the younger ones, in the Southwest, in the Southeast, in the Middle Belt, in parts of the core North itself, are no longer talking about these issues. They're not interested in 2023. They're decreasingly interested in restructuring. Many of them, I dare say most of them, are now talking about separation. They're talking about leaving the Federation. And they're talking about referendums and self-determination. Now that is the reality of today, which most Nigerians and most Nigerian politicians refuse to acknowledge, particularly those in in our age group and older. They refuse to acknowledge it. But that is the reality. Now that does not mean to say that that is a position that we need to adopt. What it means is that we need to acknowledge it, respect it, and begin to work hard to ensure that they simply talk about it and they do not go into the mode of saying we will enforce it by the force of arms. We have been pushed to the edge. The policies of this government over the last 5 years, which has resulted in nothing but carnage, killing, mass murder, ethnic cleansing of our people, has pushed us to the edge. There's no way of sugarcoating that. People feel aggrieved, wounded, hurt. People feel as if they are slaves. People feel as if they don't matter. They're second and third class citizens. And I might add, it is not just the people of the South that feel this. It is not just the people of the Middle Belt that feel this. There are millions in the core North itself that feel this as well. Zamfara State, over 300 people killed per day up until very recently. Other parts of the North, Northeast, Northwest is on fire. The other day in Zamfara, an emir's palace was burnt to the ground simply because the people were fed up and they were being slaughtered by mainly foreign Fulani terrorists. I will not dignify them by calling them Fulani herdsmen. I will call these foreign barbarians that have come to kill our people in the core North, in the Middle Belt, in the forests and the streets of the Southwest, in the Southeast, in the South-South. I will call them Fulani, foreign Fulani terrorists. That is what they are. That is what they do. In some parts they call them bandits. In others they call them herdsmen. I call them terrorists. And they are terrorists fighting against the Nigerian state. And whatever it is you feel about Nigeria, whether you're an integrationist and you believe in Nigeria and you're entitled to that view, or whether you believe in restructuring, a great view, or whether you believe in separation or whatever it is, at the end of the day, we must remember this, that as at today, we are first and foremost Nigerians. And it is incumbent on every single one of us to stand against the foreign threat. Hundreds of thousands of them come through our borders as a consequence of the weakness of this government. They come through our borders and slaughter our people. They slaughter the people in the southeast. Just look at what is happening there. Up until today, this nation, which has its own challenges, has not seen fit to apologize to those people for what we did to them in the Civil War. And I make no apology for holding that point of view. Where you have over 3 to 5 million people slaughtered in the space of 3 years, 1 million of them children. Where a young Jewish boy called Bruce Mayrock in New York City burnt himself alive in front of the United Nations building simply because he saw what was happening to the Biafrans during the Civil War, what we did to them. Where you have a man like Steve Jobs, the man that founded Apple, or the last CEO of Apple, one of the biggest companies in the world, saying, renouncing his Christian faith, simply because of what he saw happening in Biafra. And where you have a man like Bernard Kouchner, who was the foreign minister of France up until not too long ago, a few years ago, who was actually here during the Civil War, working for the Red Cross. And he said from what he saw, as a consequence of what he saw in that war, he resigned from the Red Cross, set up Médecins Sans Frontières, and he now established that organization, which is the biggest organization in wartime, for wartime casualties in the world today. People don't know this, and yet here we are as Nigerians, hoping for things to be better, and yet we refuse to acknowledge what we did. Well, that blood is everywhere now. I'm sorry if I've said things that may sound offensive, if I've said things that may not be too nice, if I've said things that are not making people comfortable here today. But that blood is being spread everywhere now, and we've learned nothing. Because here we are today, bombing the forests of the southeast with our Air Force, killing young people, simply because they want to exercise their right of self-determination, or better still, they're calling for a referendum. Here we are in the southwest, allowing foreign Fulanis to flood our forests and slaughter our people morning, day, and night. The leader of Afenifere, the beloved Afenifere, who we all belong to as Yoruba people, our leader, our past leader, Baba Fashotti, his own daughter was slaughtered. We've had our traditional rulers slaughtered. We've had our women raped, our farms taken over. That is what we have experienced. And we speak from a position of rage. If our elders and our leaders speak in a peaceful tone, it's because they're civilized men. And it's because they believe in the power of restraint. And they believe in order. And they don't want war. But the young men are angry. Very, very angry. And it's not just the southwest. Look at the Niger Delta. And I acknowledged yesterday that our father, Ike Clark, was 94 years old, I believe. I acknowledge that today. I should have mentioned that in the beginning. Congratulations to him. And we thank God for his life because he's seen it all. Look at what is happening there. Look at what has been happening there over the years. Rape, pillage, murder, carnage, domination, and all sorts of evil visited upon these people. And yet they've taken it, even though they are the goose that lays the golden egg. You go to the middle belt. Hardly any identity left. Hardly any identity left. Forced to speak a language that is not theirs. Forced to forget that they had a history of their own. Forced to bow and tremble before those that were never part of them. And now in the midst comes these foreign Fulanis again. Fighting them, killing them, slaughtering them. And they hardly ever fight back. I will never forget 2016, Christmas. Kaduna State, in southern Kaduna, 800 people, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, 800 people, including women and children, were massacred by these foreigners in their homes. And nothing happened. Not one of them was arrested. And since then, it has gone from bad to worse. But now you go to the core north itself where I started. It is just as bad, if not worse, for the poor masses in those areas who are being killed on a daily basis and whose leaders and whose elders can do next to nothing about it. So I feel for Nigeria. We all feel for Nigeria. And we all pray for Nigeria. But let me say this. If for Nigeria, there are people like Baba Debanjo and Baba Olaito and Baba E.K. Clark and our elders from the north and the middle belt, and there are so many of them, Governor Jan and so many others. If that Nigeria does not present a platform whereby we are equal in every way before God and before the law, that Nigeria cannot be sustained. There are many, many good people in the core north. Many of them. I know many of them. Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi. You go to Zamfara, Matawale is there. The Sultan himself, a good man, who has reached out in many ways to bring peace, and who is also crying out for justice and crying out for decency and crying out on behalf of his people. We have many like that in the core north. We have in the middle belt people like the governor of Kogi and so many others who are trying their very best. And we have those that are restrained and are also crying in private. And this goes across party lines. All over the north, people are crying. And they are suffering as well. So it's not just us. But the bottom line is this. The philosophy and the belief that this can go on and nothing will happen is one that has no basis, has no rationality, has no decency, and has no sanity. Because it will go on and it will take us into a situation that none of us wish to be in. Let me end with this. And this is very, very important. We must not lose sight of the fact that even though we have issues to discuss, restructuring, 2023 power shift, how we will get on with one another to make a better country for ourselves, and how we will reach out to those that no longer believe in this country, to keep them abroad for as long as we can. That's one issue. But the greatest problem that we're faced with, I say it again, is the influx and the invasion of these foreigners that want us to kill one another, that want to come in to pick up the pieces, and that are being guided and funded and supported by the great powers on this earth. Believe it or not. The same forces, the same people that supported ISIS and ISIL in Syria are the ones behind this. The same people that supported Al-Qaeda when the Russians were in control of Afghanistan are the ones behind this. The same people, the ones supporting the Taliban, are the ones funding and they're the ones behind this. They are the same people, the same forces. And what they want is to turn our nation into a theater of war. It is incumbent upon every single Nigerian, no matter what you believe, no matter where you come from, no matter your religious faith, to resist this and to come together and to say, no, we may have our differences, we may disagree, we may not even like each other so much, but at the end of the day, we will not go into war. We will stand together, we will resolve our problems on the basis of peace, equity, justice, and equality. Once we can do that, then I believe there's hope. Without that, I'm sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, there can be no hope, and there will not be no hope. May God guide us, may He lead us, may He protect us, may He defend our nation, and may He protect our elders and our leaders, and keep them healthy and strong. God be with you, and God bless you.